gentlemen, this is Mr. Main. Just coming at you with a video for the second half of this lesson today. We went through slides 1 through 6 in class today. If you think back, we talked about first finding some x and y values, some coordinates that would make the equation true. Then from there, we looked at this grid that had 3 different equation lines on it, and we had to answer some true and false questions about those grids, giving reasoning as to why we thought they were true or false. So now when we move into the second half of this lesson, obviously the link to this video is on slide number 7, and if we look at what the activity is, slide number 8, it says you're going to be getting 6 different cards, and you're not really going to be card sorting for this one in the way that we normally card sort, but we're going to look at each one of these cards and their matches, and we're going to be solving them to find the value, the other value that would go and make the equation true. So let me show you what we're doing. So if you look at slide number 9, you're going to have 3 equations here, and you're going to have 3 on slide number 10. So with these equations, what you need to do is you need to pick one of these boxes, the X box or the Y box, and I want you to move it off. I want every single person, since I'm showing you how to do this and I'm showing you what to do, I want you to, for the first one, every single person, I want you to move the X box off. So you're going to move that box off, and it's going to give you the X value that you're going to plug in. So now, once you move that box and you move that X value box, you're going to need to take that X value in, and you're going to plug it into the equation A, and you're going to solve it. So I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to have you pause for a moment, and I'm going to have you plug that 10.5 into that equation and solve it out. So you're going to pause, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get to that answer once you play it back through. So I want you to take about a minute and a half right now to plug it in and solve, and then once you finish it, you can play the video again. Okay, so once you take your equation, your 2x minus y equals 14, you're going to plug that 10.5 in for the x. So you'd have 2 times 10.5 minus y equals 14. So then you're going to have to multiply that 2 times the 10.5. And once you multiply that 10.5 times that 2, you get 21 minus y equals 14. So I need to now isolate or get that y by itself. And the way that I have to do that is first I need to isolate or move that 21. So if it's a positive 21 right now, the way that we move that over to the other side would be subtracting 21 from each side. And when I do that, I'm left with, let me show you. I'm left with this, and then so when these cancel out over here, and we're left with just our negative y is equal to, oh, that's backwards, oh no, 14 minus 21 is negative 7. Let me write that down. Negative 7. But, ooh, we can't have a negative y. Oh no. So remember, when we do that, that's like saying have a negative 1 in front of there, so like a negative 1y. And to undo that negative 1y to both sides, we need to divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. Negative 7 divided by negative 1. Y is equal to positive 7. Boop, boop, boop. I hope that's what you got. So, way that we check it, what you do when you check it, boom, boom, here we go. We check it. We grab this box here, the Y box, and we boop, 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 move it up. Oh my goodness, we got it right. So now, what I want you to do, I need you to take 7 minutes right now to go through and either pick your X or your Y, plug it in, and solve it. To find that other one. So go through all of them, and then once you're done, you move them off and you check your answers. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to have you unpause them. Actually, we don't even really need to do the unpausing and like pause it and come back, and because you can already check your answers. So once you're done, please make sure that you go back and you check your X and your Y values and you make sure that you got them all correct. If you didn't get them correct, I want you to go back and try to figure out where you went wrong. So I'm trying to have you spend like 15 minutes on this. So maybe 7 substituting them in and then checking them and going through and redoing any ones that you got wrong. So that's what your job is right now. I want you to pause the video and don't play it again until you've solved all 5 of these, the rest of the 5 of these, and checked your work. And if you got any wrong, you went back and you tried to find where your mistake was. So I'm going to pause just for a second, and when you're going to pause, and then you're going to come back and we'll look at the last section of this together. Okay, hi guys, welcome back. It's been years. No, I'm kidding. It's been like 10 minutes. Now we're looking at slide number 11. You're going to answer some questions about this activity that you just did. So let's, I'll take an X, please. How did you decide whether you wanted the value of X or the value of Y? So how did you make the decision? Tell me in this box, how did you make this decision? This one isn't necessarily in your textbook, so I want you answering these ones on the slide. So I want you to tell me, how did you make the decision? Like literally every time I did X, just because I like that one? Or was there any strategy that you used when you were making that choice? Okay. Next is, which equation represents a proportional relationship? How do you know which do not? So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause this. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't look too close and I saw that this is really asking you 2 questions. So first, which ones in this box? Tell me which ones are proportional relationships? How do you know? Then how do you know, so then how do you know? And then which do not? And then again, tell me, how did you know? Third question we're going to look at, once you've identified one solution to your equation, what are some ways you can find others? So I want you to think about and look back at some of these equations here, and I want you to see if you can find another coordinate pair that you can plug in to make it true. So that's what this is saying. So on this slide here, I want you to, for number, let's say number or letter C, I want you to decide one more. I'm not attached to the internet for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not letting me insert this thing. I want you to, for letter C, tell me which one, tell me another solution that you could get for this, for letter C. What's another coordinate pair that you could plug in and have it be a true statement? Next, what are different ways to find the solution to the linear equation 3y plus x is equal to 12? So what are some different ways that you can find this solution? Then how do you know when you found a solution to an equation? So you need to tell me, how do you know you found a coordinate pair that is a solution to that equation? Let me just go back here while I'm attached to the internet, and let me just add this in. So for this one, I want you to do C. That was the second one on 12. So then now, what are some easy values to substitute into an equation? So if you're trying to find out like an easy one, what's an easy value to substitute into an equation to find that y or x? So it might be easy to plug like the number 1 in, or just give me some examples of some numbers that might be easy to substitute in and solve for. And how can you find the slope of the line? So how do you find the slope of an equation? So for example, if you're looking at some of these ones here, where your maybe these ones, like this one right here, when you have your variables on your x's and your y's are on different sides. So maybe how would you go about isolating and finding the slope of any of those lines? So that's the last one on 12. Last one we're going to look at is your cool down for today. This video is a little bit longer just because I'm not going through all the answers like I usually do. So let's take a look at this cool down here. So it says graph the linear equation that passes through, let me just write this down, -2, 0 and 0, 6. So what I did here was I attached here a link for you, and I want you to come to this page here. And okay, so we're here. Sorry. So it will open you up here. And what you need to do is you need to use these 2 points here, the -2, 0 and the 0, 6, and you're going to plot those 2 points on there, and you're going to connect those points to create a line, and then you're going to see if you can create an equation that matches it. So let me show you. You come here, and you're going to put some points. If you remember back, maybe you want to write them down. You're going to put one at -2, 0. So remember, coordinates are written what, comma, what? X, comma, Y, over, comma, up, down. So that means I'm going to go over to -2, down to 0. So with this points here, you're going to go over to -2, up to comma 0. And then you're going to plot your other point on here. And I'm just going to throw it on here because, like, I'm not going to tell you the answer where it is because I want you to try it. And then you're going to use this line button here, and you're going to connect your 2 points. So once you create your graph here, what I want you to do is I want you to, let me think, Control, Shift, and then that button above the 6 so that you can take a screenshot of it. And you're going to copy to your clipboard. You're going to come back in here, and you are going to paste it. And at this point in time, it's not letting me paste my picture because I'm not attached to the internet for some reason again. And then you're going to look at this last one here. 2x minus y equals -6 is an equation for this graph. Explain how you know that. So just given this equation right here, you need to tell me, how do you know that this equation matches this line? You need to think back to what we did maybe on slides number 9 and 10, and how can you decide whether or not this equation matches this line? I know it's not in that y equals mx plus b form, but you can still decide, does this equation match this line created through these 2 points? And I want you to tell me, how do you know that? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today you did a bunch of work with plugging some values in and solving to find some coordinate pairs, x's and y's, that would make an equation true. Then we answered some questions about what did we do, what were some strategies we used, how do we calculate the slope. So a couple questions on 11 and 12, and then you had your cool down on slide number 13. So awesome job today, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to just say one quick thing before we leave. I need you to send me an email with the word Fruit Loops. That's our magic word for today. Fruit Loops. Once again, do not tell your friends the magic phrase. They have to watch it and they have to figure it out themselves. So, once again, Fruit Loops is our magic word. Email it to me, please, so that you can get credit for today. So just while we are closing out, I want you to make sure that before you are done today, you need to make sure that you turn these slides into me so that it doesn't show up on your list later on as like not complete. And I'm not going to start checking them until you do turn them into me. So please make sure that when you're done with this, you turn it into me, and, I can go through and check all your answers on these things, okay? So please, ladies and gentlemen, as you're going through this, please send me an email if you need help with anything, and I will see you all tomorrow. Fantastic job. Please let me know if you struggled with anything or if you have any questions, because I am still at the school right now, probably if you're not doing this at 7 o'clock, and I can answer your questions, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. We have a quiz tomorrow, so please come prepared. Bye, guys. And bye.